Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be going over the all-new Roto Grip RST-X3. However, before we do that, just a couple quick things to go through here. Just a simple reminder that if you like today's video, to make sure you like it down below. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you are able to. We are up to 920 subscribers, 80 subscribers away from my ultimate goal of 1,000 subscribers. After that, we'll see where this channel goes. But I know 80% of you are not subscribed, so please, if you're able to, hit the subscribe button. Up next, we have the Hyped Solid, and also a new release from Roto Grip, so we have that one. That's going to be the video after this. Also, a couple thank yous to give out, again, to Storm and I Am Bowling. As you can see here, I'm wearing a brand new design from I Am Bowling. Obviously, with the Storm logos on it. It's my all-new quote-unquote NASCAR jersey, as they're affectionately called, with all the sponsors on it. But again, thank you to Storm and I Am Bowling. If you like this jersey or any of the other jerseys that you see on their website, you can use my promo code down here. It's going to be FIRO07. You can save that, you can use that at checkout to save yourself 20% off of your entire order. They're coming out with new jersey designs almost weekly, so they got plenty of jerseys that hopefully you should be able to find one that you like. All right, let's get to today's video. Today's video is going to be the RST-X3, as I previously mentioned. The drilling that I have on this RST-X3 is a pin-down drilling with a layout of 40 by 5 by 70. Again, puts the pin just underneath my ring finger, maybe a hair towards the center of my grip. But the pattern is a 41-foot typical house shot. This pattern is actually a little older. It's about a week old, so take that with a grain of salt. I very much considered not putting this video out or redoing this video because the RST-X3 didn't exactly look stellar. It didn't look great as I threw that first game with it, but I need you guys to stick around to the second game that I threw with that RST-X3. Those of you that have watched some of my videos in the past, you know that I do one game with the RST-X3, one game with the ball I'm comparing it to. In today's case, it's the Nova. They both have similar drillings, by the way. And then I go back to the review ball, and I'll do a little versatility check. And I actually did a surface change with this RST-X3 because I didn't love the shape and I didn't love the reaction I was getting. And then I made a surface adjustment, and the ball looks 10 times better. So I need you guys to stick around with that and watch that part of the video in order to make kind of your decision as to what you want to do. So anyways, I'm sorry about talking all this. Let's dive into the video. Let's go, guys. All right, let's dive into this RST-X3. First shot, I got a little left. However, it did look fairly strong. So I actually moved one board right here. Or I'm sorry, one board left. And that one looked like it wiggled going down the lane. So kind of confused here. I moved one board back right here after this shot and leave a 9-pin. So even adds a little bit to the confusion here. Finally crank out a strike here. In frame 4, I didn't make any sort of adjustment, but the thing that stuck out to me with that shot and that strike was the phenomenal continuation that this ball had when I finally got it able to go through the pins the right way. And there, again, it was a little strong and went through the face. So I would say, again, look at that continuation going through the pins. It's phenomenal. So, you know, the one thing that kind of struck me here, and granted, this is an older league shot. It's not necessarily something I would throw an ASIM sort of hybrid or polished on. But, you know, it kind of came off to me as a little squirty and a little wet dry, kind of out of the box like this. So, you know, once you see it again, we're going to make a surface adjustment, and this surface adjustment does absolute wonders. But, again, I don't really think it's the fault of the ball. I think it's the, you know, I think it's the surface, it's the lane condition. Because as you're going to see here, this Nova doesn't exactly look great either. Now, this Nova does have an older surface to it, and it doesn't look bad. I just couldn't get it to go through the pins the right way. Again, starting out with a solid 9. Then we're going to come up just a hair light, and then to 2-8. again, I think I should have hit this ball with surface too. This ball has also been plugged once too, so that might be a contributing factor to this game as well. And the surface hasn't been touched since I plugged it. So again, but it doesn't look bad here. I made one bad shot, and that is going to be the 6 frames to the frame after this. Keep ringing 10. I think I flat 10'd in there as well. This is just an absolute bad shot. Really came out of the ball just absolutely awful and missed the head pin. And as you can see, I'm pretty frustrated with myself there. But again, we come back with a nice shot here in the 7th, and I think the ball is just a little late. I think, and the camera angle kind of messed me up here because I had the camera. I would have moved right, but the camera was sitting there, so it's kind of a fault of my own. This frame here, I finally get a strike. Finally carry the 10. I'm pretty excited there. But I do think both of these balls are fairly similar in a lot of different ways, or in a lot of ways. But we got the first. This is the RST-X3 after the 1500 surface adjustment that I make. And again, you can see there that ball looks phenomenal, and I need you guys to really pay attention here to what this ball is doing, because it definitely fights through that oil a little bit there. That one I pull and it holds pocket. Then we're going to leave a 10 pin here with this ball. I thought I threw this one good. I think the angle just wasn't the best. I didn't get started. It didn't get into its roll as early as some of the other ones that struck. But again here, throw a good shot. That one's a little slower as well, so that kind of helps. And then we're going to have one more shot here. That ball's outside, but it was able to carry that mixer. As you can see, I definitely love that shot there. And then this one, we're moving left here. We make a 5 and 2 left. That ball looked good. This ball, I believe I pull here. Oh yeah, I pull it by like 4 ports, and it held pocket. So that's a very good sign, especially when I put a surface on that. I would expect that ball to kind of take off to the left a little bit. This ball we kind of get out a little bit and 10 pin, but again, you could definitely carry that light mixer. Here we go again. This one's also pulled. Not as much as that first one that I pulled, but it was still pulled. This one's pulled by a lot as well. Still holds pocket strikes, and I'm kind of wondering there, what do I have to do to miss the pocket with this ball? And again, one more shot here, got it out, and then we leave that ugly split. All right, let's go over this RST-X3, and I want you guys to kind of take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. Obviously, I wasn't too happy with the 2 games that I threw. Obviously, the first game with the X3, and then the game with the Nova as well. I was obviously debating on whether even to make a video out of this, but I think it's very important for you guys to see, A, what this ball is going to look like fresh out of the box, and B, what this ball reaction is going to look like if you're potentially not on your game. I mean, obviously, 159 for me is certainly off my game. But again, it's what you're going to see and what you're going to get. Obviously, it might not be the exact same reaction. But again, I think it's very important to just show you guys what I'm seeing pretty much every time I throw this ball. So I thought to start, this ball was just a hair squirty. It was a little wet dry. The pattern might not have been exactly conducive to, this wouldn't have been the ball maybe I would have chose. Obviously if I'm bowling on this ball or bowling on this pattern for competition, is a little beat up, typical house shot. Generally, I would probably throw something like a solid symmetrical or something like that to kind of counteract what I'm seeing out there. But either way, we still ended up throwing it. 159, not a great start. But I think the hallmark for this ball is definitely going to be its phenomenal continuation. I mean, once I got it to go through the pins the right way, the ball just blew everything back in the pit, 10 in the pit. It was phenomenal continuation. So, obviously leaving it a stone 9 kind of hurts a little bit, but I'd rather leave that than a solid 8. I think 8's hurt a little bit more. But, if you're seeing this, I'm not telling you what to do. If your eyes are saying, hey, this ball is great out of the box, perfect. Keep it the way it is. Me personally, I had an RST-X1, and I kind of saw the same things from the RST-X1. It was a little squirty, a little wet dry on me, so I did end up putting a 1500 grit surface on it, and that quickly became one of my favorite balls that I've ever thrown. So as I was seeing this out of the box with the X3, I thought of that X1 and be like, oh, what if I would put a 1500 grit surface on it? And it worked because obviously, I would have had 240. I missed a couple spares that last game in that versatility game, but 220, or I had 228 with that ball, but I had let's see here, 9 strikes with it. So don't be afraid to put surface on this ball because it loves surface. It'll take surface incredibly, incredibly well. So don't be afraid to alter this ball, or really any ball, out of the box. Just because that's how it comes out of the box doesn't mean it has to be that way. Obviously, the manufacturer, being Storm, makes it out of box for that specific reason. I'm sure they've tried umpteen surfaces to put on that ball, and they figured out that that surface is going to work the best. For me, I thought that this ball came out of the box a little shiny, so that might be the reason why I see it. It's a 4K fast finish, should be maybe a hair chalkier than maybe what I got it, but there's going to be variances for the balls that you get coming from the manufacturer. For example, I got 3 idle Helioses as well, and the first one obviously was great. The second one that I got from Storm was a little chalkier, so I had to polish that one up a little bit. Turned out to be great. So there's going to be variances you get from each manufacturer. So don't be afraid to alter the surfaces. However, like I said, the manufacturers send these balls out for a reason. It's because they tested these balls and they look great at the surface they're putting at. But again, don't be afraid to alter surfaces. That's something that I do quite a bit. That's something that a lot of pro shop operators will do, is just alter the surfaces. Maybe they're not seeing something that they like, or you're not seeing something you like. So again, that's the moral of the story of today. Don't be afraid to alter surfaces. It could potentially make that ball kind of a lot better and make you a little bit happier with that ball as well. So that's it. X3, phenomenal. It's going to stay in my bag, and I think with the surface adjustment, this ball is going to really creep up into a ball that I really, really like, and a ball that I'm probably going to take a lot of places that I go. I know this ball is probably going to be in my bag for the 11th frame open that I'm bowling later here in August. So what do we have up next? We have the Hype Solid. I think this is going to be one of the more underrated balls released by SPI over the summer here. I threw this one, and it looked really, really good. I think this is going to be a great ball when you kind of want to play straighter. I think if I wasn't throwing this RST-X3, and I was really looking to score on this pattern that I threw the X3 on, I certainly would have thrown this Hype Solid because it looked really, really good. The Night Road was supposed to be coming in early September. That release date got pushed back to the latter part of September. I believe it's September 23rd, but don't quote me on that. So Night Road is definitely a ball that I'm really looking forward to, and I can't wait to show you guys the review for that one. So until we have those next 2 balls, the next video is going to be the Hype Solid. Until the next time, guys, good luck and good bowling. Thanks, guys.